Chapter 13, A Small Good Thing. Time skip hallway. Sunday morning at Hogwarts was quiet, the kind of peaceful hush that blanketed the castle after a night of feasting and chaos. The sun streamed softly through the windows, dust swirling lazily in golden beams. Hayley slipped out of the dormitory early, the folded drawing tucked safely in her pocket. Iris, still half asleep, had mumbled, "You're going now, before breakfast." Hayley nodded. "If I don't do it now, I'll chicken out." And she almost did. Snape never lingered in one place long. He moved the way cats did, silently, through shadows, always avoiding attention. The few times Hayley thought she saw him in the hallway, he vanished around a corner before she could take 2 steps. She wasn't giving up, not on something this important. She tried the library, but it was empty. She tried the dungeon's corridor. A few older Slytherins glared at her, but Snape was nowhere in sight. She tried the courtyard, where frost glazed the grass, still no luck. She sighed, brushing her fingers over the folded parchment in her pocket. Maybe he's in class or... She turned a corner and slammed straight into someone. "Oi!" Hayley stumbled back, books scattered everywhere. A boy her age, pale skin, sleek dark hair, and gray eyes that could have frozen lava stared at her in surprise. He wore Slytherin green, but his expression wasn't cold, just startled. Regulus Black, younger brother of Sirius. Quieter but sharper and unlike Sirius, very much still a Slytherin. Before Hayley could apologize, another voice spoke gently. "You okay?" A girl stepped forward, kneeling to help pick up the fallen books. She was petite, with soft dark curls and warm hazel eyes. Her Slytherin tie was neatly tucked into her sweater vest. Sofia Crouch. Slytherin first year, polite, soft-spoken. Nothing like the older Crouch family, members the world whispered about. Hayley blinked. "I'm fine, sorry, I wasn't looking." Regulus brushed off his robes, then shrugged. "It's fine, happens." His voice wasn't harsh, more reserved, watchful. Sofia offered a small smile. "You Gryffindors run everywhere." Hayley laughed nervously. "It's a problem." Regulus tilted his head. "Are you looking for something?" Hayley hesitated, then swallowed before nodding. "Well, someone." She reached into her pocket and pulled out the folded drawing. Regulus's eyebrows twitched upward. Sofia gasped softly. "That's really good." Hayley nodded. "Snape dropped it yesterday. I've been trying to give it back." Regulus blinked, twice. "You want to give something back to Severus?" "Yes," Hayley said simply. "It matters, and I think he'd want it back." Sofia exchanged a glance with Regulus, not suspicious, but surprised. "Most Gryffindors wouldn't care," Sofia said quietly. "Especially not a Potter." Hayley bit her lip. "Well, I'm not James." Regulus's eyes softened, just a fraction. He understood that sentence more than she realized. Hayley looked between them, unsure. "Do either of you, know when I'd actually catch him? He keeps avoiding me." Regulus snorted softly. "He avoids everyone who doesn't fit into exactly 3 categories." Sofia nodded. "Me, him, and Lily." Hayley's cheeks warmed. She held out the drawing. "Could one of you give it to him? He doesn't have to talk to me, just make sure it gets back where it belongs." Regulus hesitated for a moment, not because he didn't trust her, but because he was cautious by nature. Then he reached out and carefully took the folded parchment, his fingers gentle. "I'll give it to him," he said, "today." Hayley smiled with relief. "Thank you, Regulus." He blinked, not used to gratitude from a Potter, then nodded once. "You're welcome." As he ticked the drawing into his robe, Sofia gave Hayley a delighted grin. "You know," she said, her voice bright, "you're nothing like what the older years say." Hayley laughed. "Is that good or bad?" Sofia beamed. "Good, definitely good." Regulus rolled his eyes, but didn't hide his smile. Hayley waved as she turned to leave. "See you around." Regulus lifted a hand slightly, the Regulus version of a wave. Sofia waved enthusiastically. And for the second time, thanks to Dorcas being the first. Not all Slytherins looked at her the way Snape or Lucius Malfoy did. Some of them, kind ones, quiet ones, thoughtful ones, were good people, just like Gryffindors, just like anyone. Time skip that night. Later, when the common room glowed with firelight and chatter, Hayley curled up with her journal. She dipped her quill slowly, thinking of Lily's smile in the drawing, thinking of Snape's stiff retreat, thinking of Regulus's hesitant hand, thinking of Sofia's warm words. She began to write. Dear Mum and Dad, I had a strange and a good day. I tried to return Snape's drawing of Lily, again, but he kept avoiding me because of my surname is Potter. I guess he thinks I'm like James. I'm not. Maybe one day he'll believe that. But something unexpected happened. I ran into Regulus Black and Sofia Crouch. They were nice, really nice. Sofia said I wasn't what the older students said Potters were like. And Regulus, he took the drawing. He promised to give it back to Snape today. It felt like a small good thing. I think Hogwarts is teaching me not just magic, but how to understand people too. Some are prickly, some are quiet, some are hiding. And some, even in Slytherin, are kind. I hope Snape gets the drawing back. Love, Hayley. She closed her journal, letting out a small breath. Tomorrow would bring new classes, new hallways, new mysteries. And maybe, just maybe, a world where Slytherin and Gryffindor didn't feel so far apart. Chapter 14, The Look Behind the Mask. Time skip next morning. Monday morning brought the usual chaos of students hurrying through the corridors, clutching books, and toast stolen from breakfast. Hayley moved with the crowd, Iris chatting beside her about how their next charms lesson might involve actual spell casting on objects that move. But even as Iris rambled excitedly, Hayley's mind wasn't entirely on classes. Her fingers absently brushed her pocket, now empty, where the drawing had been. She found herself glancing around corners, half wondering if Snape had it back, half wondering if this would change anything, half wondering if he would look at her differently. He probably wouldn't, but the hope flickered anyway. As they rounded the corner toward the courtyard stairs, Hayley paused, eyes catching on a scene unfolding ahead. Regulus Black stood near the stone railing, hands tucked behind his back, speaking softly to someone. His black hair glinted like ink in the pale morning sun. The someone was Severus Snape. Hayley slowed, instinctively keeping to the shadows of a pillar. Iris followed her gaze. Is that? Hayley nodded. Yeah. Regulus withdrew something from his robe. A folded parchment Hayley instantly recognized even from a distance. The drawing. Snape's shoulders stiffened visibly. His dark eyes flicked around warily, as if expecting mockery. Regulus said something quietly, something gentle, something without judgment. Hayley couldn't hear the words over the murmur of students, but she could see Snape's expression flicker confusion, then suspicion, then something almost fragile. His fingers twitched. Regulus offered the drawing again. Snape finally took it, not snatched, not ripped, just took it. His hands were careful, almost reverent. Hayley watched his thumb brush Lily's outline through the parchment. Something tightened in her chest. The softness in Snape's face lasted only a second before he shuddered it away again, snapping his expression back into its usual guarded mask. Regulus nodded once firm, reassuring. Snape gave a stiff nod back. Then, like a shadow dispersing, he turned abruptly and walked down the dungeon stairs, clutching the drawing tightly. Regulus's gaze followed him for another heartbeat. Then he turned, spotted Hayley watching from the hallway, and offered her a small, subtle nod. The kind that said, he got it, he knows it was you, and it mattered. Hayley smiled back, tiny but sincere. Regulus didn't return the smile, not fully, but the corner of his mouth twitched as he slipped into the crowd. Time skip lunch. Hayley spotted Lily alone at the Gryffindor table, reading a letter from home. Her smile was warm, soft in a way Hayley rarely saw anymore. Hayley wondered, did Lily know Snape had drawn her? Did she know he kept it close? Did she know he'd gotten it back that morning? Probably not. But Hayley's chest ached with a feeling she couldn't name. She took her seat beside Iris, but her eyes wandered toward the Slytherin table just for a second. Snape sat there, alone except for the occasional whisper from other Slytherins passing by. His posture was tight, hunched, defensive. But his left hand was beneath the tablecloth, gripping something gently. Hayley could tell, she just knew. She didn't stare, didn't wave, didn't expect thanks. It wasn't that kind of moment. Time skip after class. That night, Hayley curled into her favorite armchair, the fire crackling softly, the warm glow making her feel safe and thoughtful. She opened her journal again. This time she didn't write a letter, just entries, private thoughts. Today I saw Regulus give Snape the drawing back. He took it like it was something fragile. He didn't look at me, but I think he knew. Maybe he doesn't hate me. Maybe he just doesn't know what to do with a Potter who isn't James. I hope he keeps the drawing safe. I hope he knows someone cared enough to return it. Maybe that matters more than talking. Hayley. She closed the journal softly, watching the embers glow in the fireplace. Somewhere below in the dungeons, Severus Snape was probably staring at that drawing again. And somewhere across the castle, Regulus Black and Sofia Crouch were probably being teased for helping a Gryffindor. And Hayley felt the quiet shift of something new. Not friendship, not yet, but understanding. And in Hogwarts, sometimes that was the beginning of everything. Chapter 15, The Warmest Winter. Time skip, December at Hogwarts. December arrived at Hogwarts like a breath of winter magic. Overnight, the castle transformed. Frost glazed the windows like silver lace. The grounds glimmered under a blanket of snow, so clean it sparked. Giant icicles hung from the towers like teeth of crystal. And inside, Hogwarts glowed. Garlands of enchanted holly wrapped the staircases. Floating snowflakes drifted through the corridors without ever melting. The suits of armor sang carols, badly. Warmly firelight flickered in every common room. Hayley woke to the faint sound of bells somewhere in the castle. It's December, Iris whispered from her bed, eyes shining. It feels like the castle knows. It did. Time skipped the Great Hall. Hayley and Iris walked in for breakfast, and both stopped dead. The Great Hall looked like a scene out of a snow globe. 12 enormous Christmas trees lined the walls, each decorated differently. One sparkled with tiny golden snitches. One was covered in shimmering icicles. One had enchanted candles drifting around it. One smelled like peppermint and cocoa. Snow fell softly from the enchanted ceiling above, but never touched the students. Hayley held out her hand, letting a snowflake hover millimeters above her palm before dissolving into silver light. I love this place, she whispered. Same, Iris whispered back. James passed with Sirius and Remus, all three with mugs of hot chocolate in hand. Sirius leaned in dramatically. Girls, the trees are alive this year. One tried to steal my scarf. Because you tired to climb it, Remus corrected. It was a strategic ascent, Sirius defended. Into a tree, James said. Hayley laughed until her stomach hurt, but after a few minutes, she grabbed Remus's arm and pulls him close carefully. Are you okay? I didn't see you during Halloween, Hayley asked curiously. Remus thought of a lie for a moment, then comes out with, just had a flu, it was bad. James and Sirius looked at each other knowing the truth, but stayed quiet. Time skip outside. During break, students poured onto the grounds in scarves and mittens. Hayley and Iris joined a massive snowball fight between Gryffindor and Hufflepuff, which turned into every house versus Peeves when he began dropping exploding snowballs from the battlements. Someone shouted, use cover. Someone else screamed, he stole MYMITTNS. Hayley bent to pack a snowball, and her magic surged. The snowball in her hands grew, and grew, and grew until she was holding a snowball the size of a pumpkin. Iris blinked. Hayley. It wasn't me. It was absolutely you. Hayley grinned. Throw it together. Iris nodded. They hurled the massive snowball at Peeves. It flew upward, too powerful, and smacked him in the face with a whump. Peeves spun in midair, sputtering snow. Who did that? Hayley grabbed Iris's sleeve. Run. They did, laughing the whole way. Time skip evening. That evening, Hayley walked down a quieter corridor on her way back from the library. She wasn't looking for anyone, but she noticed something anyway. Severus Snape stood near a window, staring at something in his hands, something small, folded, familiar. The drawing. Hayley slowed instinctively, staying out of sight. She didn't want to intrude. Lily walked past the hallway slowly, humming to herself, carrying a wrapped present for Marlene. Snape's eyes flicked up, longing, lonely, soft for just a heartbeat. He hid the drawing immediately. Lily didn't see him. Snape didn't call her name. And Hayley's heart pinched in her chest, because she understood exactly what that felt like, wanting someone but feeling like you weren't allowed to. She stepped away without being seen. Time skip, Gryffindor Tower. Later that week, Hayley and Iris returned to Gryffindor Tower with cups of hot chocolate after dinner. They nearly ran straight into Regulus Black and Sofia Crouch, who were waiting outside the portrait hole with packages of small wrapped sweets. For Gryffindors, Iris asked, startled. Sofia laughed softly. It's Christmas. Even lions deserve chocolate frogs, Regulus said, handing one to Hayley with a shy glance. Hayley blinked in surprise. Thank you. Regulus shrugged, cheeks slightly pink in the cold. It's just sweets, he muttered. It's really nice, Hayley said, smiling warmly. Sofia nodded. Friends or not, houses shouldn't stop kindness. Agreed, Hayley said. It was the beginning of something small and good. Time skip common room. Gryffindor Tower became a riot of red, gold, and chaos. Sirius enchanted tinsel to slither around James like a snake. James accidentally set a wreath on 4 and blamed Sirius. Remus put bow ties on all the portraits. The fat lady insisted on singing carols every time someone entered. Hayley and Iris helped decorate the tree, actually decorate, because the ornaments kept floating away. At one point, a bauble bonked Hayley in the head. Hey, she shouted. It's not me, James said. It's definitely me, Sirius admitted proudly. The laughter never ended, and Hayley loved every second. Time skip Christmas Eve. That night, Hayley curled beneath her blankets, the dormitory filled with soft candlelight and the faint jingling of enchanted bells. She opened her journal and wrote slowly, carefully. December at Hogwarts. The castle is glowing and warm. There are trees everywhere, and snow that falls indoors but never melts. Everyone seems happier this time of year, even Snape looked softer, just once. Regulus and Sofia gave us sweets. They probably stole of an older Slytherin. Lily smiled more. James didn't set anything on fire today. A miracle. I miss Mum and Dad. But Hogwarts feels like it's filling the space they left behind. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this castle has a heart, and it's letting me be part of it. Love, Hayley. She closed the journal, hugged her pillow, and listened to the quiet winter wind whispering outside the window. Christmas was coming, and for the first time in years, Hayley felt warm.